Okay, so welcome everybody to the start of a new era for Moto E. Now the FIM NL Moto E World Championship. I'm sure at some point we'll all have to catch ourselves. A very exciting new year for the electric series. And it's our first press conference of the season. So we have a couple of familiar faces, a bit of technical insider info, and two of our rookies as well. So in the centre here at the Sharp Grand Prix de France, we welcome the new manufacturer for the series, Ducati, and we have the e-mobility director, Roberto Canet. And then we have two-time cup winner, I'm sure now looking to add a championship to those stats, Jordi Torres, now with Openbank Aspar Moto E. And the very first winner of the title in the series, looking for another one this year as well, I'm sure, fellow Gresini MotoE's Matteo Ferrari. And then we also have our two new faces. We have Randy Krummenacher from Dynavolt Intact Moto E, and we have Luca Salvadori with Pretel Pramac Moto E. So welcome to all of you. And we said, as it is a new year, new era, and one of the biggest headlines is that new machine, we will begin with Roberto from Ducati to tell us a little bit about the project from your side of it and how exciting it is to start this kind of new championship and new project for Ducati.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your question. It's very, very nice because I want to say that this is a brand new project for Ducati. It's the very first time that Ducati produced an electric motorcycle, and we decided to produce for the MotoE championship. That's a very challenging race. So we started designing the motorcycle, let me say, a couple of years ago. Then we made the best we could make because we think that our motorcycle is the best motorcycle now for this kind of...
We'll ask the riders in a minute as well.
Yeah, great, good idea. And so we developed this motorcycle to achieve the best result on the track. In fact, we made a lot of tests and a private test and a couple of official tests, one in Jerez and one in Barcelona. And we found that the bike is performing very well. We like it. We had a very good result from that test. And now we are here in Le Mans. You know, it's the very first race, and I'm quite excited, to be honest.
So from your perspective, what are the biggest challenging building both the first electric machine from Ducati and also for competition straight away, that it has to be able to race and create the incredible show that we've seen in MotoE?
Yeah, the challenge is incredible because at first it was the very first time Ducati challenged itself with this kind of project. So we had to create, and it was also a purpose of this project, to create internal know-how in order to be able to build this kind of a motorcycle. So we took advantage of the group experience of some suppliers that helped us to develop this bike, but at the same time we hired and we built a little group internally in Ducati to design this motorcycle. The idea is to get all the knowledge to be ready in the next future, hopefully, to design and produce also road bikes.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously we see lots of innovation in the MotoGP paddock and, of course, in MotoE. It's all kind of parallel path, and electric mobility has huge scope for the future, especially in urban environments with emissions. But what are the biggest things then that set this bike apart from the road bikes or the petrol bikes that you also make in Borgo Panigale?
Okay, you're right.
Don't say the battery.
Yeah, okay. Okay. No, I would say that racing for Ducati, as you were stating, is some kind of advanced R&D field area where to design and test and improve the new technology. So it's a parallel. MotoGP tests something, and MotoE is meant to test other stuff. I would not say battery, but let me say everything related to the electric mobility has to be tested, to be developed, and to be designed to reach the goals we have. Because, you know, Ducati is not only mobility, but it's also passion, it's performance, it's a style, you know. So we have to design the bike, I mean also the road bike, in order to reach the target that Ducati has.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Roberto. I'm sure we'll have a few questions for you after as well. Now we'll move on to our riders, and we'll start with Geordie. You always get the honour when you've got those 2 cup titles in the bag. But now, new era, completely new season, maybe a little bit strange for a few of us to be starting in Le Mans, and on a huge stage at Grand Prix 1000. The easiest question to start with, how are you feeling ahead of this new season? You excited to get going?
Yeah, at the moment I feel very well, and also I think this Ducati bike is easy to ride instead that you can.
That was going to be my second question. Go for it. Tell us, how is it? First impressions.
I want to answer everything. No, but of course this new season is at the moment is a very big challenge because all the riders want to go on the top and want to beat everybody because the bike have a really good performance and it's very easy to ride, and everybody know that the potential of the bike. But at the moment we need to see where is the limit of the bike, because I think in these both tests that we do on the past, anybody search the limit of the bike instead that, for example, I don't know, release the brake or the maximum angle or the corner speed or something like this. And the potential is very high, and a ride to there is quite difficult, but until do a great pace, everybody can arrive there. And for sure in these 2 races, the first 2 races, everybody want to be fast, and for sure we give a lot show and many overtakes during the races, and we see what happens. But for sure, it's a funny category.
It certainly has been up till now, and we're sure it will continue again. And obviously the other innovation, if you like, a little bit different to use that word for it, this season is we've got both races on Saturday afternoon now. How are you feeling about that? You and Matteo obviously have experience of MotoE previously. Now you've got those 2 flashpoints on Saturday after a few more sessions on Friday. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that is good for the rhythm of the category, because at the moment we don't need to do many laps on the track, and independent that the weather of the track, the bike were good, also the tires were good, and it's not too much important in terms that security. It depends that the weather don't do on the track. But for sure, have 2 races on Saturday is a very challenge. But are speciated the races, and we reach a lot of information for bring some innovation to race 2 and continue to still a good performance.
You haven't. You don't have to get up quite so early on Sundays anymore, as we had there for a few times. So, Matteo, we'll move on to you. They're going to be similar questions. Like we said, you're the 2 veterans. Randy and Luke, I'll ask you something a little bit different as you arrive in the category. But, Matteo, what are your thoughts on the bike then? Obviously, it's completely new challenge for everyone. Your testing seemed like it went pretty well.
Yes. So
I was like, please don't stop there. Yes.
I'm really happy to be here. It's a new challenge because there is a new bike, and also the 4GP is the 1000 GP for MotoGP. So I'm really excited to do the race. And yeah, the tests were good. Also on the wet condition, because in Jerez was the weather was really difficult, but the bike worked well, and also as we work a lot on the bike, we understand the setup, and we think we improve a lot the lap time compared to last year. So I'm really happy about that. Unfortunately, I can do the simulation race, but I did a good lap time during the race, and also the pace on Barcelona was good. So ready to start here in Le Mans.
And how are you feeling about that Saturday double showdown now? We've got one before the Tisa Sprint, one afterwards. Are you excited about that and to get both of those races inside a shorter amount of time?
Yeah, I'm happy about that because you know, on Saturday and Sunday you have only the races, so it's very difficult to arrive on track early in the morning and wait only the race, only a few laps, and you have to be ready from the first lap. So I think the second race will be really nice for all the riders. We don't have too much. We will not have too much time to work on the data, for sure. But it's a new format, and I think will be good for the riders. Yeah.
Well, best of luck this weekend. I'm not sure if I said that to you as well, Jordi, but of course I'll say it to you all. So Randy, we'll move on to you. Welcome back to the Grand Prix paddock. New adventure for you completely, not just a change of electric machine, but also a completely new adventure in MotoE. How are you feeling after your first taste of it in testing? And how does it feel to be back here at the 1000th Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race. We have been waiting a long time. The Moto E is really exciting with the Ducati bike. As Jordi said, the limit is so high, and we are still searching it, and so it's exciting. It's such a great feeling to ride it. It makes a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to race.
And obviously, more recently, you've had a lot of success in Supersport, where you've had 2 races, but 2 different days and quite a bit longer. How are you feeling ahead of those 2 showdowns on Saturday, where you've got to reset mentally so quickly, go out again? Are you excited for a new challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. It will be sort of new challenge for everyone, but of course, having races between 8 and 10 laps is new for me. I thought, yeah, it might be a bit easier physically wise, but those laps are so on the limit that at the end it's the same. Everyone pushes so hard, but yeah, I like to do something new, and so I'm really motivated.
Well, best of luck. It's great to see you here in MotoE.
Thank you.
And finally then, Luca, what are your thoughts arriving in the championship for the first time? And as it becomes a championship, what do you make of the bike? And are you excited to get going this season?
Yes, all the guys say everything, more or less. But yes, the Ducati bike is incredible. I arrived from the Italian Championship where I ride a V4 Ducati Panigale. It's a little bit difficult to jump from endothermic bike to electric bike, and for me this level is the first time, no? So I stay a lot of time in the Italian Championship, but I'm very excited for this opportunity, and I'm ready to start and race with the other guys.
Well, it is kind of a different world here for you, as you said, arriving from the CIV. How are you feeling now? It's the biggest stage possible at the 1000th Grand Prix. And what do you have any goals for the first few races in MotoE?
I'm a bit. I saw a bit of difficulties for me with the 8 and weight, but I think the races are something else, so we can make a good step. And for me, the top 10 is a good result for a rookie.
Okay, well, best of luck. We'll be excited to see how you get on. I should say as well, I was going to say at the top, we send our best wishes to Eric Granado, who of course will not be out here on track with us this weekend. Hope he recovers soon and we'll be back out with the LCR team once we get into the triple header that's coming soon. We've got 8 weekends, 16 races all in a row. So that's it from me then. Have we got any questions from the floor?
I have a question. You just ask to the oldest, okay. I just would like to ask to Luca if he found what can he do in his second job. I mean, as a first job is being a rider, but as a YouTuber, what can you do here in MotoE as a video maker?
I want to say only this. I'm working now on this. It's not a finished work, but we are, I don't know how to explain, but we are discussing.
Okay.
Okay.
I can imagine.
Is
It's
anybody
not
else,
so simple.
Anybody else tempted to start a YouTube channel as well? You get 2 competitions
At the
going
moment,
this year. No. Have you got any more questions from the floor? Yeah.
Gianmaria Rosati, Motosprint Italy. A question for Randy. Randy, since you are a world champion, a world supersport champion, what can be, in your opinion, your strong point compared to your rivals? And I suppose that the target can be and will be the champion, no?
Well, there are so many experienced riders here, riders I know from the past, Moto2, like Jordi, Mattia, Caserei, I know from Italian Championship, also Matteo. So, and I rode with Rabat, with Tito, also the Moto2. Many fast riders, many very good riders. So talking about the title now is, I think, very early and need to be treated with respect. I'm for sure, I want to be at the front, working hard for that. And then we will see how it will go on.
Matteo Aglio, gp1.com. A question for Matteo and Jordi. What are the main differences from Ducati and the previous bike, the Energica that you rode till last year?
You want to start now? First of all, is the weight of the bike. Ducati changed a lot also the setup because they develop a new completely bike, but they have a lot of experience in MotoGP. They won a lot of titles, races, so they have another experience, and I think they have done a good job because the lap time was incredible and all the riders were very fast during all the days during the test. Nobody did high side like in the past because the traction control worked very well. So this is an important point for us because in the past was really difficult and this point. And I think this is enough, and we have to discover the bike during the races.
Yeah, for sure. The biggest difference is the rideability, and also the balance of the weight, because you can ride very fast and during entering the corner and also release the brake, and you can feel some information about the tires or the suspension that maybe in the past is more difficult to feel what happened during the corners on the bike. But now you can ride like a normal bike, and also you can be a lot of aggressive on the electric bike. And that Matteo said, the electronic devices work very, very good in terms that you can do very early the full throttle, and the bikes know exactly in where point that you are and the power that need to give you, and understand very well how is the slide in every meter, and know which percent of power show to delivery in the rear traction to go forward. The most difficult now for the riders in this kind of data that are more technologic, and it's easy to ride in third and it's more difficult to make a crash, is understand perfectly to be more performance. Because of course you can turn at normally and you open the throttle and you go out, okay, it's good. But for squeeze 100% and know how is the performance, or know in which meter give you 100% of power delivery, depends that the angle, depends that your point on the track, is more technical for the riders and understand this and do a great laps. And also, for example, now the bike eat more rubber in terms that we slide in every time, in every corner, because it's easy to stay there. No, you're using the traction and go out of the corners in a drifting. And for sure we need to understand this about the races, because these 8 laps is enough to do the last laps in a low performance, because you eat a lot of the rear tire. And the riders need to understand this, and after adapt to the track to be a performance until the last lap.
That's a great explanation there. I think we've got one more question.
I will hire him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Maria Motosprint as before. Question for Jordi and Matteo. What kind of race can we expect? I mean, it will be easier to overtake, for example, or it's too early to suppose?
I can imagine that the most easy example is like do a go-kart with your friends. I think this is this kind of the races that we do, because everybody run in the same lifetime, and it's very safe, the bike, and you can be a lot of aggressive and don't need to understand in which point that you are with the throttle, because the rider only need to understand how is the performance to do forward, to go ahead and try to overtake. No too much preoccupation about the rear slide or something like this. I think this year can be crazy about the overtakes and the many strange race lines to try to overtake. Can be crazy this year.
Yeah, I agree with Jordi, and for sure will be really important more than the last year's start in the first two row, because you know, if you are on the front, you can push from the first corner and you can try to take some gap and try to push and to don't have a lot of riders on the first group, you know. And like I said before, I didn't do the race simulation, but I overtake a little bit on Barcelona, and yeah, is a little bit different, but is easier to overtake because you can push a lot during the braking point. So we will see, because in Barcelona we have also a long straight. Here in Le Mans is completely different track and also the temperature. So we have to work about that. But yeah, I think we can do a crazy race.
Well, no pressure now then, given the level of show we've already seen, if you're saying it's going to be even better. So I think that is all of our questions. So a reminder for everyone, qualifying on Friday at 5, that's live and free on YouTube. All this is in GMT+2. And then we have 12:10 race 1, 16:10 race 2. Hopefully we'll see you all there, and we'll certainly see all of you out there. Thank you very much, guys. Best of luck for the season. And yeah, just round of applause for our class of 2023, please.
Photo?
Do the photo.